Now, Sports Talk with Broads. Here's Hunter Brody.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Sports Talk with Broads. We are broadcasting live from the Manscaped Man Cave. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code BROD at manscaped.com. The Philadelphia Eagles are not a very good football team. Now, at the end of the day, you look at the score and you think, hold on a second, they actually had a chance to tie the football game with a 2-point conversion, and Doug Pederson called one of the most historically pathetic plays in the history of football. Yeah, that did happen, but this team, they were playing on the backups of the backups. That's where they were with the offensive line. And when you think about this statement right here, it should tell you everything you need to know. Carson Wentz and Kelsey were the only two starters available at the end of this game. I mean, that's just telling you everything you need to know. Those two guys were the last two standing. You don't win many football games in this league if that's the case. And to be fair, there were missed opportunities. Jake Elliott missed the field goal, which should never happen. You need to hit that field goal. John Hightower misses that big-time bomb, 50-yard bomb, 3rd and 22, after Carson Wentz gets hit a couple times. Early in this game, you got to make that play. That could be the difference in setting the tone or not. Imagine if John Hightower caught that 50-plus bomb and takes it to the house, and it's a 7-0 game with the snap of the fingers. Now, I'm not saying that automatically means the Eagles are going to win the game, but the Eagles are now in a whole different situation. And not only that, say he makes the catch and doesn't run it into the house, but let's say it just flips the field. Now when the Ravens get the ball for the first time, they're not in the same scenario that they were when they got the ball first, right? It totally flips the field. John Hightower, he continues to get open, but he has to catch the ball. That's the second part of it. One, get the hell open, which obviously he has the speed to do it. But two, you got to track the ball better. Now, he made up for it later for making a play, another big-time shot. But come on, that one's crucial to me. And Miles Sanders, he misses a wide-open touchdown catch. I don't know what the disruption was in terms of him looking over his right shoulder, then him flopping over to his left shoulder. Here's what I know, though. He had two hands on the football, and he was wide the hell open. That needs to be caught. I saw Travis Fulgham with a double team on him in the back of the end zone, go up and catch a football, right? I saw him do that. You need playmakers to make plays. Miles Sanders, he just flat out has to make that play. But because if you remember, if you look at what happened after that play, guess what? 4th and 1. Eagles don't get it on a QB sneak by Carson Wentz. No points. So you go from 7 points to 0 points. Or, well, I guess I have to say 6, 7, or 8 points because I wouldn't know if Doug Pederson was going to have brain cells in that situation. And I don't know if Doug Pederson would have went for 2, kicked the field goal, or extra point that is. I just don't know. But a lot of points or no points. Miles Sanders, I mean, he just has to catch that football. And then by the end of the game, he's banged up. He does not return. Short week for the Eagles. They play on Thursday. So Zach Ertz was limping. Miles Sanders was limping. That's going to be an issue. And the fact that this offensive line did what they did to Carson Wentz, I'm furious about it. But at the same time, I hate to break it to you, there's not many football teams that have third options that are going to be great. When you are where you are right now at the offensive line position, you don't have that much depth. So I am really frustrated with Carson Wentz getting hit so many times, sacked 6 times. He was constantly getting hit to the ground over and over and over and over and over again. And if you don't think that that matters, well, then you don't know football, because I know that there's going to be a lot of people saying, I don't care. Carson Wentz is the quarterback. He flat out needs to be better. Throw Jalen Hurts in the mix. Did you see what he did in his limited amount of plays? That's all nonsense. The offensive line matters, and when Brown is getting waxed left and right, and here comes Campbell hitting Carson Wentz every single down, it kills you. It kills you, especially when you are limited in options at the skill position. And look, Greg Ward made a nice sideline catch where he might have got lucky because his knee landed on the shoe of the defender. He did get 2 toe taps in, which was obnoxiously insane. There's plays here and there, but not enough. It wasn't enough. And you saw many times, especially in the red zone, where Carson gets the snap. He does have a little bit of time to look around. The defense just completely swarms all the receivers. There's no one open. He's just going to constantly have to throw it away. And that was when Wentz did have some time. The other time, he was running around, looking around, throwing balls off his back feet, trying to make a play, running 40 yards downfield. I mean, you name it. Carson Wentz left it out there on the field, and you got to tip your cap. Sadly, we're at the spot now where you just have to tip your cap to some players for working hard and taking moral victories, because there's only so much that you can do. Was this a winnable football game? I mean, I guess it was. It was a winnable football game, but the reason why they didn't, it's pretty simple. They just don't have a lot of talent right now. They are extremely, extremely banged up. So the fact that they didn't get over the top, because they didn't get over the hump, is because of where they currently are with certain situations on the field, with certain positions. That offensive line was abysmal. Then Driscoll gets banged up late. You're throwing in all these new guys. How about the fact that who caught the one touchdown? Kroom? Who the hell is that guy? Honestly, who the hell is that guy? The last time I said that, though, it ended up being Travis Fulgham. So what do you know? Maybe let's just pray that it's Kroom being the next Fulgham. But when you're throwing touchdown passes to Kroom, that's all you really need to know. This team, they just don't have it. They don't have it. And football is the ultimate team game. As much as people want to put it on the quarterback, and the quarterback has more say, and he has more on the outcome than other positions, no doubt about it. But there's only so much you can do, and specifically when the offensive line has the type of day that they had, well, you're really screwed. You're just not going to be successful whatsoever. What turned the page? There was a spark plug from the Jalen Hurts nonsense. Now, there were some wonkiness involved, and they were trying to throw it back to Hurts, throw it to Wentz, and this and that. I thought, oh my God, this is desperate. I mean, this is flat out desperate. But they did end up moving the football after that, and you didn't see much of Jalen Hurts in that second half when Carson Wentz was the one who was able to put the team on the back. Now, the fluky call from the referees on Marcus Peters for the pass interference, yeah, you know what? They got lucky. There was an interception that almost was an interception, let's say, ended up hitting the ground, but Carson Wentz got rocked as he was throwing the football because, hold on a second, the offensive line was brutal. It's frustrating as hell to watch the O-line get abused and waxed on every single play, where as soon as Carson Wentz gets the ball, I don't know what he's thinking. Honestly, I don't know how you continue to go out there and feel confident in yourself to make plays and feel confident when you get the football in his hands. And if he doesn't feel confident, well, guess what? He's doing a great job at hiding it, because there's no way in hell I would feel okay with taking snaps from these fools in front of me. At the same time, though, while I know a lot of people want to get on Howie for that specific reason, I don't know if it's fair to with Howie, because no team in the NFL can start sliding in a bunch of third stringers on their O-line and think that you're going to win a lot of football games. It's just not the nature of the beast. Now let's get to Doug Pederson, because Doug Pederson put this team in a tough position late. I don't know what that was. That play call by Doug Pederson for the 2-point conversion could arguably be the worst play call I've ever seen out of him. And that's saying a lot because I've seen some dumpster fire play calls out of Doug Pederson. The fact with that offensive line, you want to run some sort of option play. Why are you running the ball? Carson Wentz just moved downfield and just made a lot of plays and just did a lot of great things by throwing the football. Yet here you want to run a read option with an offensive line that did a horrendous job all game long. The one time they stood out to me, and honestly, Jalen Hurts was on the field and they were trying to act as if Jalen Hurts was some big distraction. He was running towards Carson Wentz in motion. He did nothing with that play whatsoever. The offensive line won their battle in that specific play, and that's when Miles Sanders went on that big-time run that led to a touchdown, but not because of Miles Sanders. There was a punch-out, and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside scoops it up after a block, and he's the one celebrating in the end zone. J.J. actually had a 2-point conversion play as well. That was a play where the offensive line did well, but there's not a good enough track record to rely on that with the game on the line. And why were they even in that scenario, you ask? Great question. When it was 17-6, there was literally no reason whatsoever for Doug Pederson to think, hey, let's go for 2. I like aggressive Doug. I'm not trying to act as if Doug Pederson shouldn't be aggressive. There are plenty of moments within a football game where being aggressive makes a lot of sense, and sometimes Doug Pederson does a good job at when it's not the smartest time ever. We all think, Doug, what are you doing? Doug, what are you doing? And he does it, and we're like, hey, that's the beauty of Doug Pederson. But in that scenario, I don't see the advantage, and then you're playing catch-up, and when you're playing catch-up, you got to constantly go for 2. They had to go for 2 throughout the entire game, and then it ended up backfiring. So the going for 2 thing, I just think there's times for it. It makes sense sometimes, but there's times where you don't need to do it. It would have been 17-7, and you move forward. You continue to play the game. You continue to fight. Now, with Carson, he didn't play a great game. He battled. I'm judging him off of the way that he responded. He had a monster fourth quarter. The way that he played in that second half, significantly better than the first half. He had some uglier moments. He had the fumble. I didn't really like that play call either. I don't know why he's the one running the ball. It looked like a low reward, high risk type play at that point on the field for him to gain 2 or 3 yards on some sort of run option play. I didn't see why Carson Wentz would need to keep the ball, and I don't know why Doug Pederson went with that. Anyway, you see the Ravens, by the way, how many times they can punch out the football left and right, punching out the ball. 0 playmakers on defense besides Darius Slay when it comes to that secondary and punching out balls like that. Come on, you never see anybody do that. You have no playmakers back there. I thought the front 4 did good for the Eagles, but those secondary pieces, they don't make plays like the Ravens make plays. To be fair, you're looking at a lethal secondary in Humphrey, in Peters, in Smith. They know what they're doing, but the difference is obnoxiously noticeable, no? Punching out balls all the time. Balls are flying around. Now, with Carson Wentz, that fumble, it was costly. It costed the team, and you saw the Ravens go the other way. He needs to be better with that. He cannot fumble the football. I didn't like the play call to begin with, and maybe if you don't put him in a situation at that point on the field with that type of play, well, guess what? Then you're not talking about that. But reality is Carson Wentz needs to hold on to the football there. He was not perfect by any means. But when you look at this game, if your first reaction is, oh, Carson Wentz stinks, they're 1-4-1 because of Carson Wentz, it's just not the case. This is an overall team effort. I look at a lot of people and I look at a lot of mistakes, and I think it goes on everyone. This is a collective group, and a lot of players made mistakes. When it comes to that defense, while you look at the 30 points and you instantly think, oh, 30 points, how do you win a game when you allow 30 points? I didn't think the defense played that bad of a game. Now, there's specific positions. Linebacker. You saw Nate Gary making mistakes. You saw Alex Singleton making mistakes. You saw guys make mistakes. But that's what's going to happen when you don't have good players playing that position. There's going to be a lot of mental mistakes. I honestly don't think the defense played that bad. There were moments where they weren't strong. You saw some back-breaking plays from Lamar Jackson. There was one, though, that was a huge play for him. The secondary had amazing coverage. It was almost such good coverage, and these were the type of plays I was talking about in the Football Friday podcast. There's going to be plays where you do everything right, yet Lamar Jackson uses his legs, and he'll take field. And he'll take the grass, and he'll get the first down, and he'll even get more than that. And there were times where, look, the coverage was so solid, and then here goes Lamar Jackson. He finds his hole, and that's just what he does. The reason why Lamar Jackson is so special, and we talk about him in those ways, is because he does that type of work with his feet, and he did that a couple times. It's crazy. It's crazy. Davion Taylor at points was playing defensive snaps. We keep hearing he's not ready. He's a long ways away. He's more of a project. Yet, based off of not having many other options, you got to rock and roll with someone like Davion Taylor. It's a weird spot to be in because 30-28 against this team. This Ravens team is good. Now, they're not playing their best football. It does seem like Lamar Jackson is banged up, and you can see that in his play. There are moments where you expect Lamar Jackson to be better, where you expect him to be sharper, where there's another level to his game. Still a great football team. And for this offense, with this O-line, with Wentz getting hit that much, with these weapons on the outside, to score 28 points, sheesh. It's pretty damn impressive. But a lot of mistakes. And when you're not a good football team, you make those mistakes. Hightower has to catch the ball. Carson Wentz cannot fumble. Miles Sanders needs to score that touchdown. There's a lot. And if you want to focus on one thing, like, if Carson Wentz didn't turn it over, you'd win. I don't personally do that. There's a butterfly effect involved in everything. It's not just one play. There's so many plays that resulted in the final that happened. In the final say, in the 30-28 loss to the Baltimore Ravens, there's so much that occurred and there's so many issues. It's not, one play would have been the difference here, or if Carson Wentz didn't do this there, or if Doug Pederson played Jalen Hurts more, this would have happened. I can't stand that one. Yeah, 3 plays. That really shows you what Jalen Hurts is all about. And I do think this was the best that Jalen Hurts was ever used so far this season, and I even claimed when it happened, as disgraceful as I thought that pick was, and I still firmly believe that, I still expect them to find a way to use him. It's just I don't value that over having somebody on the field who can play a ton of snaps on the defensive side of the football in a position of need. So there's going to be some positive things that are happening with Jalen Hurts. I thought this was the best that they use him. I just don't value that over, let's say, a linebacker position that's struggling big time. I'm watching Chin make plays when we played the Bengals. I'm watching, make plays from Logan Wilson, a name that was mentioned during the draft. I value that more. For the people who think, Jalen Hurts, you got to play him. You got to sit Wentz. You got to bench Wentz. No. You don't. You don't have to. 3 plays isn't the same as playing a full game with this type of offensive line. And that's just a horrendous message to Carson Wentz, who right now, it's not on Carson Wentz. He can play better, but to think they are where they are right now is solely because of Carson Wentz. I don't go to that extreme. I would love to see what Wentz would be like right now with a healthy offensive line, with some weapons. And it seems over the last handful of seasons, you were just never able to do that. And for someone who is labeled injury prone, to take that amount of hits, to get thrown to the field constantly every single damn snap, and to get sacked and to get abused all game long, he's taking it like a champ. He really is. Not perfect. To be clear, not perfect. Not the full-time issue either. I think with the way he's playing now, earlier in the season, yes, I can say that Carson Wentz costed them games earlier in the season. The last 3 games or so, no way. No way. And I want to see Carson Wentz with weapons, with real players, with first stringers. Hell, with second string guys. That would be lovely. You want a positive, though? We talked about Travis Fulgham. Could he be able to make plays throughout this game and with this type of defense, with this secondary? He was quiet for sure, but then he made some big plays. He looks for real. Now, he's a player. He's not elite, but he's a player who can make some plays for you. You need that. You absolutely need that, and the trust is there. You can see it. The trust between him and Carson Wentz. He's throwing it into double coverage. Bomb. Back foot. Who the hell cares? Let's throw it. I know that guy can go make a play. I don't trust Hightower. Hell, I don't know if I trust Miles Sanders, but I trust that guy. You know why? Because he supports that logic. Because he actually catches the football. That is meaningful. Now, we are broadcasting live in the Manscaped Man Cave, like I said, and look, we need to hear a word from my friends at Manscaped. Autumn is in the air, and Manscaped is here to ensure you don't carve your pumpkins when you're grooming. By pumpkins, we actually mean your boys downstairs. In fact, Manscaped's on a mission to change the way you approach caring for your balls. And great news, they just released their products in the UK, Canada, and Australia. There's nothing worse than being in the shower or doing your shaving time and you go, zap, ah, oh, no! Right? You cut yourself, you start bleeding. You don't need to worry about that when it comes to Manscaped. They have the skin-safe technology, which helps reduce grooming accidents. Their new Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer uses the same skin-safe technology as their Lawnmower 3.0. They have Crop Cleanser body wash, a full body wash that you can also use on your hair, crop mop, ball wipes. They have it all. Go to manscaped.com. Use promo code BROD. for 20% off and free shipping. It is a no-brainer. Wow. So Wentz was under duress on 47% of his dropbacks. Third straight game where he has been under duress for 40% or more of his dropbacks. That's a problem. That's a problem. And we have been spoiled. And I mentioned this specifically when Jason Peters was the left tackle and he was starting to get older in his career. There would be a false start or there would be something where people would get all pissed off. And I'd be like, look, I'm not happy about it. We have been so spoiled with elite offensive line play, left tackle play specifically in the situation I'm bringing up right now, that when it's not that way and when it's one false start or if it's two false starts, you think that's horrendous. In theory, when you look at that compared to around the league, it's pretty damn solid still. So I bring that up because as a whole, we've just been so spoiled with offensive line play for years and years and years and years. This is what happens when you don't have it. We talk about the New York Giants, and we talk about their offensive line problems. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why they don't succeed, right? They have no offensive line. That's been one of their biggest knocks. You're starting to see that happen here when you're on your third-string guys, when you're playing these rookie players. No team in the NFL has the support when you are this injured on the offensive line. And if I was to pick a reason, if someone was like, Broads, what was the biggest problem this game? It's got to be the offensive line. It just has to be. Now, as I stated, there are so many factors into what happened. Poor execution, playmakers not making plays, fumbling the football, missing throws, linebacker play. Allowing Lamar Jackson to get some runs when you should be able to shut it down, right? I mean, there's plenty of things when you look through a four-quarter game that can be a problem. The biggest problem for me, though, was watching Brown getting smacked, watching Wentz getting hit after every single little throw, every time. And even if it was one where it wasn't as powerful, it wasn't as lethal as a hit, after it's 12-13, it doesn't really matter how hard it is. It's just the fact that you know you're getting hit to the ground. Two guys are coming on you. Here comes the blitz. Just make the offensive line uncomfortable. It's not rocket science. When this is who you have out there, It's not rocket science. Send a bunch of guys. Get in their face. Make these players in front, in the trenches, make them make a decision because they're probably going to make the wrong decision. And as you saw that, it happened multiple times. And you do not win as an organization when you're this hurt in that position. So that's my number one target, my number one focus is until you get healthier there, or unless some of these players step up, good luck against any team. I don't care if you're going up against arguably the worst defensive front in football. They're going to look like the best defensive front in football when you have this slop sitting in front of you. Just want to scan through my notes here and see if I missed anything else. Kroom's touchdown, though, we touched on that, which was interesting. Zach Ertz leaving the game. Sanders, big run. Anything else we kind of missed on here from the notes? Not really. It's just weird. We have been so accustomed to being involved, and you want to play the numbers game? Fine. They were involved, or they still are involved, I should say. They're 1-4-1. And some might even try and be optimistic. Wait until they get healthy. Wait until Deshaun and Alshon comes back. I saw Adam Schefter tweet before the 1 o'clock game started. It looks like Deshaun Jackson is going to be available for Thursday Night Football against the Giants. I don't give a damn about that right now. Why would I give a damn about that right now? I got a game on Sunday to play, and he's not available. So to me, did they not value this game because it's not a division game? Did the organization go, hold on a second, let's hold him back more because if we play him today, then that means that on Thursday it's a short week. Let's hold him out. It's almost as if they were way too cautious with Deshaun Jackson, or the injury was way more serious than they told us it was in the beginning. But it's a frustrating time, for sure. It's crazy that this was technically a winnable football game. And I have to credit Carson Wentz for the plays that he was making late, for them to even be in the situation. Fulgham, Greg Ward, Ertz made a couple plays before he got out. Specifically, that play where he ran to the sideline to the right side, had a big first down catch. You saw, though, that he was limping. He had to get stuff checked out. Miles Sanders, he also had to get checked out of the game. It's crazy with Miles Sanders. And it's not his fault when this stuff happens. It's not like I'm mad at the specific players when they go down with injury because it's reality. Stuff happens. But we're pretty new with Miles Sanders to this point, right? He's new, recently drafted. A lot of the times, he's unable to go. He's banged up. Nature of the position, nature of the sport. Okay, I'm with you. I'm not throwing that out the window as if that doesn't matter. But with him, so far, he's constantly nicked up, constantly banged up. Then he's not conditioned right. He's fatigued. I think Miles Sanders has a hell of a skill set. And you saw it. And you're starting to see the bang plays, right? The home run plays. You didn't see that earlier in his career. You're starting to see them more often. Boom, big 70-yard run. Boom, big touchdown here and there. Like you're seeing the explosive home run type plays out of him when the offensive line is blocking, may I add. It happens. Boom. You need it all to work. All the pieces need to click. All the puzzle pieces need to go together before a play like that happens. But you're starting to see that happen more and more, which is great. It's phenomenal. That could be the difference in winning and losing a game. But he has been nicked up a lot, and that seems to be a constant theme with him as well. And also, we talk about he is your best playmaker. Get the ball in his hands. He's the best playmaker. Well, guess what? I need to rely on my best playmaker to catch the damn football in the end zone. That's pathetic. It really is. I'm going to be harsh on him. Look, I'm hard on Carson Wentz. When Carson Wentz is absolutely atrocious, I will rip him apart. I thought he had bad moments in the beginning of the game. I thought, though, as I stated with the puzzle pieces being put together, they weren't put together for him to succeed, and ultimately it showed. But I didn't think Carson Wentz was strong early in the game. He was later in the game. I'm hard on Carson Wentz. I need him to do very well for this team to do very well, right? With Miles Sanders, same damn thing, though. You need to make that play. It's unacceptable. It hit you in the damn hands. You have to. Now, John Hightower, this has been the knock on him. When he got drafted, he can't track well. He doesn't have great hands. He's got speed, can't track well, doesn't have good hands. So that is who he is. Now, he needs to fix that issue and get better at it if he wants to continue to play, because guess what? He is getting available. He is. He gets open. He beats defenders. But you gotta be able to actually put the ball in your hands, too. But Miles Sanders and him, it's two different situations. Miles Sanders is your best guy. He needs to do it. It's not rocket science, but it is annoying. It bothers me. It gets me fired up because those little plays and the missed field goal can't be just forgotten about. Missed field goal, Jake Elliott, from a very reasonable distance to get your team on the board right before halftime? Come on, man. You got to execute there. It was a 2-point game. Could have changed everything. Could have changed what you did with the 2-point conversion, with the first touchdown. Could have changed everything. So a lot of mistakes. Bad play calling by Doug Pederson throughout. Carson Wentz wasn't sharp early, but the offensive line didn't help, and I think that's where it starts. Ultimately, that's the big one. Being so beat up on the offensive line, you're just stuck in a horrendous position from the jump, and that doesn't mean other injuries didn't play a factor. How about Wallace on the special teams play? Boom, injured. That was a hard hit. He got rocked pretty good there. I mean, he was the one that initially made the contact happen, but woo, that was some big contact. This team is just getting destroyed over and over and over again, and until they find ways to get healthier, I don't see a way that they're going to be able to win a ton of football games. Look at this Giants matchup on Thursday. We used to write them off easily. There's no way in hell that this is just going to get written off so easily. So look, the 24/7 Anytime Hotline is rocking and rolling for tomorrow morning's podcast. I can't wait to react to your reactions. The phone number is 856-442-9805. You can call in at any time. Leave your reaction to this game. I will play it on the podcast tomorrow. I will react to it. Can't wait. One of my favorite times of the week. Also, this episode is sponsored by Orbit Energy and Power, and with over 20 years of experience in the solar industry, they are home to your solar experts in both residential and commercial projects. Make sure you check out their information down below in the description. We are talking about $0 electric bills. It's unbelievable. And the last thing I will leave you with is this. A lot of people have been reaching out to me, Broads, I want to help out more other than just watching. I want to support Sports Talk with Broads more. And I was like, okay, well, what can I do? And I looked into some options. I started the membership page on Sports Talk with Broads. On my YouTube channel, you can join as a member. There's 3 different tiers, and you can look through the tiers, and you can get things in return. For example, we can have discussions about some podcast ideas that you may like. You can send a video of yourself using your phone, send it to me, and I'll implement it into the podcast where you can share your thoughts, ask a question. It'll be your video, and then a monthly hangout live stream with myself and you. There's a lot of options here, so make sure you check that out. It's not mandatory, of course, but people were reaching out to me, so I figured I would give the opportunity for the ones that choose to do so. But I love all you guys, all of you, every single one of you that watch and support me just through watching is enough. No doubt about it. Without you, this couldn't be real. So thank you all so much. With that being said, we will end this here. 1-4-1. My Chipotle has arrived. I can hear my dog freaking out. I am hungry. I can't wait to attack my Chipotle. Thank you all so much, and I will see you next time.